are on the verge of a New Japan AEW partnership. We are live, man! AEW Dynamite presents Beach Break from Daly's Place tonight. Jon Moxley, Pac, Ray Fenix went up against the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega with the surprise of Kenta invading AEW and delivering a GTS to Jon Moxley. Penelope Ford and Kip Sabian got married, and I can't stand pro wrestling weddings. Lance Archer and Eddie Kingston battled tonight in a Lumberjack match, and I can't stand Lumberjack matches. Shaq is wrestling. That's not a troll. The Young Bucks have opponents for Revolution. The Inner Circle may be finished. And we got everything you need right here on Wednesday night. This is the only podcast you need on your Wednesday night. This is your AEW Dynamite post show right here on Off the Script. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining us right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite post-show, Beach Break post-show for February 3rd, 2021. I'm JD from New York. I'm here with the biggest fucking heel in the podcasting realm all of a sudden. My buddy Jesse, what's going on, man?
Not much, brother. You, man.
We got a lot to go over tonight, man. We have a lot to talk about. We got a possible major announcement from New Japan Pro Wrestling coming tomorrow morning. Nobody knows what that is, but we may have gotten a glimpse into what we are going to be looking forward to with the AEW, I don't want to say debut, but I would say the invasion of one Kenta targeting Jon Moxley tonight with the GTS. We're going to get right into that in just a second. But as far as Beach Break goes, Jesse, and AEW's themed shows for Dynamite, what'd you think, just as a brief synopsis, what'd you think of tonight's show and the way AEW presented Beach Break?
Well, that's a good question, man. Overall, I thought it was an entertaining show. It was definitely groundbreaking. It was not without its spotted issues, but it was entertaining for 2 hours.
It was entertaining for 2 hours. I didn't think it was a perfect show by any means. It definitely had its ups. It definitely had its downs, no question. But I do think at the end of it all, Tony Khan knows how to get people talking, and Tony Khan knows how to make these shows feel important and must watch. This is now the second big, I would say, surprise that we have gotten with these theme shows back to back. Winter is Coming, obviously, was the debut of Sting. We got Beach Break now, which is taking over for what they did last year with the Bash, or I believe it was the Bash at the Beach, for last year's Dynamite. No longer the Jericho Cruise as of this year because of the COVID-19 situation. So Beach Break was their newest venture, and they yet again had another surprise. So Tony Khan is definitely keeping his cards close to the vest as far as surprises go. You never know what he's going to turn up or what he's going to do with these theme shows.
Yeah, and isn't that awesome?
It really is. It really is.
Isn't it? I mean, sometimes the unpredictability of it, that alone is something that can keep the product exciting. I mean, so if you think about this, just for instance, what we got tonight, we got Kenta in the AEW ring. Now, I mean, big picture wise, all we got was Kenta in the ring. We got New Japan in the AEW ring. That's what this is about. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we didn't get the full boat. We didn't get a full-blown invasion, but that little nugget alone, that's enough. That's all we need for right now. That's perfect. Love it.
Before we get on into the show, you are definitely a heel tonight, Jesse, because not only are the people upset with your opinion coming out of last week's show, today they are saying, "Fix your mic, bro." We might have a little fixing to do on your end. They say that you're sounding like you're coming from a Walmart PA system.
Let's see. I'm looking at.
While Jesse gets his situation, fixed. We're gonna go into the show. I got some AEW news and rumors as well. We're gonna talk about the Beach Break situation and everything that happened. But I want to thank you guys so much for joining us here on the post show for Dynamite right here on Off the Script. Make sure you follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. That is on Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for notifications. We got a very busy winter and spring coming up, folks. Royal Rumble season is underway, or finished rather. WrestleMania season is underway. And thank you guys for coming on over and making Off the Script the number one destination for everything you need this WrestleMania season. We had a major Royal Rumble weekend, so I want to thank everybody that's new, that has stuck around onto the Wednesday night show right here for Dynamite. And the best place to keep up to date with everything is definitely Twitter, at JDfromNY206, IG as well. So follow me all along social media. If you want to support the podcast, patreon.com. That is the best way to go about it. Patreon.com/JDfromNY206. Make sure you guys go out and check out all the other videos that you might have missed on the channel. We have a ton of content for you guys. If you are backed up or you haven't gotten to it yet, there is plenty to keep you busy. With this week alone, we got the Monday Night Raw podcast coming out of Raw this week, the Royal Rumble Fallout show. Edge, Drew McIntyre, or Edge, Roman Reigns for WrestleMania. That is the big discussion coming out of Monday Night Raw. I know Edge was on NXT tonight. I don't know what he did on the show tonight, nor do I care at this moment. I'll watch that tomorrow morning, but that is the big topic of discussion this week. So if you missed the Monday Night Raw live stream, that is live on the channel right now. And I will see you guys on Friday. Next time I will be live is on Friday. We got Edge showing up on SmackDown as well, already advertised. What is he going to say to the Tribal Chief? WWE is really using him the way that they should this WrestleMania season. Make sure you guys go and hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. T-shirts, masks, you need it. It's down below. Bonfire.com and mouthmasker.com/OTS. And tonight's show is sponsored by my good friends over at Dr. Squatch. DrSquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout to save yourself a whopping 20% off anything on their online shop. I want you guys to look your best, feel your best, smell your best, because you're already listening to the best in me right here on YouTube. that is off the script. So make sure you guys go and check them out and really support Dr. Squatch. I never put my name behind anything I do not use, and I use it every single day. DrSquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout for your 20% off. Jesse, how you feeling over there? You all right?
Yeah, man.
There you go. Holy shit. You sound like a fucking normal human being nowadays. Holy shit.
Is that better for you, man?
Oh, my God, man. You never sounded better.
Good.
Jesus Christ. Well, I'm proud of you, bro. Look at that, man. Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker had a fantastic match tonight, and I don't want people to miss your expertise analysis on this.
Hey, that was not the first match of the night. Go in order.
Well, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. All right. Now that Jesse's got his microphone fixed and everybody in the fucking chat is happy, we got 1,100 in the live stream. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. Super chats are open. Get them on in if you want to hang out at the end of the show, and please hit that thumbs up as well. If you guys want to see Thunder Rosa give Jesse a Death Valley driver, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and support the video. Would really appreciate it. Jesse, I want to get in right at the top. I don't want to wait till the end of the show because I know a lot of people are very excited about this. We got Kenta showing up in the main event. That is the big story of the night. Comes in and gives Jon Moxley a GTS. They are feuding over the IWGP United States Championship. I did not expect, of all people, Kenta to show up on Dynamite tonight. But then I heard rumblings earlier in the afternoon that New Japan Pro Wrestling is teasing an announcement tomorrow morning. Nobody knows what it is. Nobody knows what they are going to do or say. Everybody is under the impression that they have a United States TV deal imminent. But what if it is indeed that, and it coincides with AEW Impact and New Japan Pro Wrestling merging together for the time being, leading to what we discussed a couple of weeks back, and what I truly think is happening, whether it happens during WrestleMania weekend or it happens sometime this summer. We could be headed towards a super show of sorts between all three major promotions, and it's unbelievable that tonight we've seen Dynamite, New Japan, Impact, and NWA all represented on the same exact show this Wednesday night. Talk to me. How you feeling about this? I know it's not a big deal to a lot of people, but it is a big deal because, without a shadow of a doubt, man, Tony Khan continues to keep AEW in the mouths and ears of everybody, and he's got AEW right now being the talk of the town in the world of professional wrestling.
Man, this is, man. I don't think people are really getting the gravity of what's going on right now, because the whole WCW invasion angle took just a horrible turn when it went down. But I don't know if we've really ever had three major promotions like this with not one company owning everything. You know, we actually got three independent companies who are all sharing talent in what seems to be a platform that benefits all three companies. So I can't wait to see where this goes. You know, I'm going to keep referring back to this because it's coming to fruition, but Tony Khan said the landscape of wrestling was about to change this year, and here we go.
Yeah, we don't know. I'm glad we don't know, but we don't know exactly what the hell that means, but we are seeing it take shape slowly but surely every single week. What do you think is the case here? Are we seeing a potential partnership between New Japan now with Impact involved, or having them be involved for the last couple of weeks? AEW now, is this leading to a partnership? Is there going to be a major United States TV deal announced by New Japan that leads to all this? What are you thinking about this? And who else could we potentially see come over from New Japan?
Well, I think for one of those times, it's not like we are looking at a potential. The thing is, in some form or another, we are already witnessing a merger. We don't need an official announcement and things like that, because the thing is, talent does not go hopping around to other television programs. That just does not happen. I mean, even we have a time right now where we even have talent that goes over and do things at other promotions, but for the most part, they don't do it on television or pay-per-views and things like that. You know, usually dark matches, like something of the sorts. I mean, yeah, Moxley's going over to New Japan and things like that, but it's a little bit different now because now there's a clear trading and a bartering system going on. And it started with the women, with Thunder Rosa, and it bled into Impact and everything else. And now we were wondering when it was going to bring in New Japan over to this side because we were already sending Kenny and Moxley over there. But now here we go. Now we got Kenta over here. So, I mean, how long before we get Okada over here? How long before we get, Ibushi? I mean, it's a slow build. And no matter if you think this is an actual merger or not, it is. It's a merger because you don't see random talent from other promotions showing up on different promotions' television shows. So how official will we get an official announcement? I don't know. It makes sense that we would. But not, even if they never do, this is it, guys. I mean, stop waiting, for the official. It's here. It's here. You're looking at it. You seeing Kenta on AEW television with the Impact Tag Champions in the same ring as the AEW champion. That's your merger. It happened. It's happening right now.
Yeah, this is a beautiful thing to behold, and I don't know what everybody else is feeling about this. I know Moxley and Kenta have a title match at New Beginning. I believe that's on February 26th, if I'm not mistaken, from what I last read. But, that is not the only situation that we could potentially be looking at with Kenta and Moxley. That may lead to Kenta being on AEW, leading to that match. I mean, we have all month to go. They may be building that match on Dynamite. We don't know what's going to happen there. But with the Young Bucks, I don't know where they fit into the overall grand story of what's happening with Kenny Omega. It seems to be just consolidated to that, and they're doing their own thing. I'm not sure if you realize this, but Jay White actually said something about the original Bullet Club, and he was quoted saying, because he didn't quit New Japan, by the way, for everybody who's like, oh, I'm on Jay White in the Royal Rumble. Not going to happen. I never thought it was going to happen, but thank God that didn't happen. But Jay White mentioned something about the real Bullet Club existing right here in New Japan. And he said this, and I quote, "This is the real Bullet Club right here. We're not a cheap ripoff trying to recreate the past to regain some relevance and doing corny reunions just so that you can sell shitty t-shirts to you all. But of course, you all still buy them because you are. This is a real Bullet Club. Let me tell you what real Bullet Club's about. It's about change. It's about moving forward. It's about progression. It's not about living in the past. It's not about going backwards." So he said that, and then the Young Bucks actually quoted saying, because they heard Jay White say that about the Bullet Club, when they wore the Bullet Club merchandise on Dynamite and they started doing the Too Sweet with Omega and Gallows and Anderson, the Bullet Club merchandise that they used to represent skyrocketed on Pro Wrestling Tees charts. And it was all because the Young Bucks said, as soon as we did the Too Sweet, we put you guys back in the public limelight, public spotlight, and we could be looking at something with them. And this whole possible merger happening, we could see Jay White, the Bullet Club, battle the old Bullet Club, I would say. It would be new versus old. So we got a lot of moving parts with this thing, and nobody knows exactly what's going on, but it's fucking exciting. It really is.
It is. I mean, it's something. I mean, the show is over, and we have hours upon, easily hours of content to talk about, and we haven't even gotten to the show yet.
No.
Things are happening in pro wrestling. And not only that, in small batches and in small parts, fantasy matches and fantasy dreams are coming true as it pertains to different wrestlers facing each other. This is the start of it, So who knows what we may get, come smack dab in the middle of the summer when things are trying to kick back off in IRL and we get live crowds. Who knows who's gonna show up? If AEW comes to Chicago right now, I was already going to get some tickets. But now, if the pure possibility that God knows who Tanahashi, who's going to show up on an AEW program next? Who knows? I don't want to miss it when they do. So,
yeah, it's great. I just love the continuity here with Kenta. Moxley showed up on New Japan I don't know. It wasn't that long ago. It was probably last week or last weekend. And now Kenta shows up on Dynamite here. I mean, I just love the continuity here. I love the genuine surprise. Nobody really expected him to be there. And I don't think anybody expects anyone to be anywhere with the restrictions nowadays because of COVID. But, I mean, it was just a genuine, nice surprise. At the end of the day, Tony Khan continues to get people talking about AEW. That's all people are going to be talking about now. Oh, look, Kenta, New Japan partnership. When the partnership and all of that joining forces and mega show talk dies down, it somehow just gets raised back up from the dead because Tony Khan is just playing everybody, man. He's like a master at what he's doing right now. I got to give him the ultimate props. He is right now on top of everything. And for somebody that's been in this business, doing this for just a little over a year, he's doing everything correctly. Dynamite is not a perfect show by any means. There's going to be shit that we're going to be, shitting on in a little bit. But, I mean, he is doing everything right. He's getting people talking. He's creating excitement. He's building relationships. And this is exactly what pro wrestling needs. And Tony Khan is leading that. I love it.
Yeah, man. We remember when they launched and then when we first got introduced to Tony Khan and who he was and everything else, everybody just called him a big mark.
Yep.
And this is the kind of booking, this is the kind of planning we get from a so-called Mark who's running his own wrestling show.
Yep.
This is fucking great stuff. It's the kind of thing that if I was running a wrestling show on my own, these are the kind of ideas I would be coming up with. I mean, granted, you can't do everything that you would want to do in the wrestling life because real world exists, money exists, contracts exist, limitations exist. You can't have it all your way. But this is what we want. We want the unpredictability. We want to see, and to be honest, I want to see WWE get better, and this is how we do it. Because with competition like this unfolding, they have no choice but to do something to make their product just as interesting. So this is going to improve wrestling all around for everybody.
I absolutely agree, and that's the one thing I'm looking forward to most. Hopefully it does end up that way. Shifting gears here away from the Kenta stuff, he made his surprise appearance on Dynamite tonight. The other big thing that was announced tonight was Shaquille O'Neal, and I don't really want to spend too much time on this because I'm not really excited about this whatsoever. I just fear that it's going to be an unbelievable shit show of epic proportions on March 3rd. But Shaquille O'Neal is officially booked for a match with All Elite Wrestling. It's not happening. Yeah. I mean, I would rather see him wrestle the plastic than Cody Rhodes, but that's a different story for a different day. But we got March 3rd being the date. Now, it's not Revolution. It is actually Wednesday on Dynamite. It's going to be Shaquille O'Neal and Jade Cargill versus Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet in a mixed tag team match. And I know why they're doing it. I get why they're doing it. It's a give and take situation. We're not getting it on pay-per-view, which is a good thing, because I do think that the majority of what Tony Khan's trying to accomplish here is get more eyes on the product, and more people are apt to watch Dynamite and watch this match happen than go and spend $50 to watch Shaquille O'Neal botch every fucking aspect of this match on pay-per-view. So I get why he's doing it. But Shaquille O'Neal wrestling on Dynamite was announced tonight. How you feeling about it? And what do you think about the Jade Cargill upcoming vignettes that we've seen tonight in light of this announcement with them teaming up against Cody and Red Velvet on March 3rd?
That was a vignette?
Yeah, man, I guess a vignette or a coming soon package. She lifts weights, bro. She looks great. I just feel like the presentation is no way going to match what we see in the ring.
Wait. I took notes. So I took notes on that vignette, and I wrote down 4 words. Jade can lift weights.
Yes, and Braun Strowman can run fast. Jade can lift weights. Yeah, so this is fucking groundbreaking. I don't know what podcast is giving you this type of fucking groundbreaking information, folks. I mean, it's unreal.
So do you know if Red Velvet gets in that ring and lays completely horizontally, does not move, and sits on top of a bench, she will get pressed by Jade Cargill?
I would say so, yeah.
Up and down.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, what do you think about the match happening on Dynamite? I mean, this is a clear ratings, let's get more eyes on Dynamite maneuver, and Tony Khan probably, I don't think he thinks this, but I probably know deep down he's probably thinking it to himself. I don't want to have this shit show on pay-per-view. I actually want to present a decent pay-per-view for $50 that people are actually going to go out there and willingly buy and enjoy. If it's gonna suck complete dick, let's have it happen on Dynamite. You know, at least it's going to get people watching.
I'm almost convinced that this match is just pretty much solely happening at the request of TNT. It feels like a TNT crossover type deal because Shaq works for TNT and they're gonna put this match on TNT, on Dynamite and everything else. They're even promoting it on their NBA shows and things like that. This just seems like a complete just, let's try to cross promotions. Let's try to bring these fans over to these fans. How about you put Shaq on your show on Dynamite? And it seemed like a TNT originated idea to me.
Yeah, I would say so. Listen, I know why they're doing it. We discussed this last week when you were going off on a tangent on Sting and Shaquille O'Neal, but I get why they're doing it. I just can't fucking stand it. You know, and the same thing goes for the same thing. This is legitimately the same thing that WWE, it's not the same because one is bigger than the other. This is legitimately the same thing that WWE is doing with Bad Bunny, who I hear right now is, training at the Performance Center to get ready for a WrestleMania match against Miz and Morrison in some way, shape, or form, whether he battles one-on-one or he teams with Damian Priest at WrestleMania to battle Miz and Morrison. I get why they're doing it. I just don't have to like it. And all because he's on TV, that doesn't mean, I look at him any differently. His music is still not my cup of fucking coffee. Shaquille O'Neal is not my cup of fucking television. I don't have to like it. It sucks, but I get why these companies do it. Pro wrestling is not as popular as it was 20 years ago, and they could use any type of mainstream attention possible to get eyes on their product. I understand it, but in the end, this is what I don't get and why people, they want to make things about race. They want to make things about his music. They want to make things about Shaq and how big he is as a fucking NBA legend. It's not going to do anything but be a Band-Aid situation. AEW will probably see an extra 100,000 people. They'll get towards 1 million viewers. The rating that's going to matter after March 3rd is the rating that comes in from March 10th. Because if you don't retain any of those fucking viewers, what good was it? You got your ESPN fucking coverage. You got your ESPN Spotlight where they go over it. Whoever's on ESPN now, they'll probably mention it on SportsCenter. You got your Fox Sports moment or whatever. It'll be on mainstream media outlets. Whatever the case may be, it's about retention. And if you don't retain, to me, I just feel like it's a waste of fucking time.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's a TNT request. And if that's the case, I don't see it being the worst thing in the world if it'll keep the network that's giving you the big shot happy.
Yeah.
So, so if they want to get Shaq, involved in the brand a little bit and put him on TV, and the airtime that they are, providing for AEW, they give him fucking Shaq for a couple of weeks, it'll keep them happy. I couldn't see Tony Khan promising TNT, great shows and great ratings. But by the way, I need you to give me Shaq so we can bring in those ratings for you. No, it sounds like something they asked and requested, and Tony Khan's a good business partner. He's going to look out for the network who's asked him to do his favor. That's my take on it, because he's been booking a fantastic show up until now, and why would he need celebrities? I mean, he's probably making the network happy, which that I can appreciate. I mean, at the end of the day, TNT is providing us with AEW television, so.
Yeah, this is definitely a TNT idea. If it is something that they requested and Tony Khan is putting on TV, so be it. I get why they're doing it, and I just hope that there is minimal damage done on March 3rd. The aspect I'm looking forward to most is not even Shaq. I'm looking forward to seeing potentially Red Velvet break out, and I pray to God, I pray to the wrestling gods that Jade Cargill is as good in the ring as she looks physically. So we will see what happens on March 3rd, but that was the major announcement. It's not happening at Revolution. It's happening on March 3rd on Dynamite, and I'm sure they are going to pop a big rating for that show just out of sheer curiosity. Jesse, the other thing that was a major news piece coming out of Dynamite tonight was the AEW Women's Championship Eliminator Tournament. And this is going to be taking place in the month of February. They have not announced when it's going to be taking place and when Shida is going to find a number one contender for her women's championship. But this is actually taking place in the United States, and it's taking place in Japan, which I did not think was going to be the case. I thought it was going to be just United States and Japanese ladies being represented happening in the United States. This entire thing was happening in the United States, but it's happening in United States and Japan. Now, we got everybody announced for this thing, and I don't know half the fucking field, so if you guys want to call me and Jesse, uninformative geeks, so be it. I am not somebody that watches any women's wrestling coming out of Japan, and I admit that. And I don't really give a shit about half of these names. I know who I want to win this thing, but this is the name, or the list of names, that AEW gave us tonight. Aja Khan is in this thing. Yuka Sakazaki. We got Veni. We got Emi Sakura, who I was not a big fan of even when we had fans. Ryu Mizunami. Mei Suruga. Rin Kadokura. Maki Ito. Serena Deeb. And I probably butchered half these fucking names. Don't even give a shit anyway. Serena Deeb. Britt Baker. Dr. Britt Baker, by the way. DMD. Dr. Jesse. Dr. Britt Baker.
Would you read the fucking list? Jesus Christ.
Tay Conti. Thunder Rosa. Nyla Rose. Anna Jay. Layla Hirsch. And Riho is involved. And she's part of the United States. I thought she would be a part of Japan. I don't know. That's exactly what I was thinking, but it's in my fucking notes. I don't know what they're doing. Okay. Whatever. So I don't watch Joshi. Okay, I don't watch none of that shit over there. Okay, it doesn't interest me in the least. Okay, so if you want to go and call Jesse and I uninformative geeks, go fuck yourself. Okay, I know who I want to win this thing. Jesse, what are you thinking about this Eliminator tournament? I feel like deep down, AEW is trying to overcompensate here for their lack of women. I wish a Chris Statlander was back. I wish we had Big Swole where she needed to be. I wish there were more AEW ladies where they needed to be. I feel like AEW is overcompensating here, and I truly believe at the end of the day, what this tournament is really exposing is the fact that AEW has absolutely no division for themselves. And they have no competition for Shida.
Yeah, I think, man, I don't know. I think this tournament's already failed. Yeah, just by the brackets.
Listen, you don't even have to say anything else. I agree with this tournament's a fucking failure already.
I mean, and it sucks to say that because it sounds like you're not even giving it a chance. But the thing is, half of the entire bracket is someone that we're not familiar with. Half of it.
Yeah.
So now either someone from the half that we know needs to win, which we're already expecting, because if someone from the other side wins, then we're all going to shrug our shoulders and say why. And then when someone from the other side does win that we expect to win, now we're going to say, well, why do we even need the other half of that fucking tournament in it?
Listen. I understand. I'm going with Thunder Rosa. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I hope she wins it because her and Shida had a great match. And that's just my pick there. But I will say this. As far as the other ladies that I have not heard of, I seen a tweet tonight from Maki Ito. And she said, "I'm here, motherfuckers." If that is the way, yeah, that's exactly her tweet. And it was in English too. So if that is the demeanor of Maki Ito, I might be interested in checking her out because she seems like a firecracker. If she's coming on Twitter and with the announcement of her inclusion in this tournament, "I'm here, motherfuckers," she could be a wild card pick of yours truly here. I don't know. What do you think?
Something just happened. I'm looking at an AEW clip that just got posted. Can he challenge somebody? Give me a second. Go on to the next one. Let me find out who
Jesse apparently has seen something on social media. here from All Elite Wrestling. I don't know what's happening on their post show with Tony Schiavone. So we will move on here. But the women's tournament, guys, this is announced. This is the field of 16. And that's it. That's it. We'll see what happens. And I will keep you guys updated on this tournament as we move forward. But we're going to get into the show now. That is the major happenings coming out of AEW. Let's get into the top of Dynamite. We started off with the Battle Royal. And the winner of this Battle Royal would challenge the Bucks of Youth at Revolution for the AEW Tag Team Championships. And everybody thought that it was going to be the Good Brothers, and everybody thought the Young Bucks were going to win this Battle Royal because they won the Battle Royal last year. And we got the Young Bucks not winning the Battle Royal. And instead, we got a nice little curveball thrown at us. We got Chris Jericho and MJF winning the Battle Royal and earning themselves a tag team title match at Revolution against the Bucks. And this is a very interesting situation. So we got 10 teams in this match. FTR was actually pulled from this Battle Royal by Tony Khan because of what they did to Jurassic Express last week, and them beating up Jungle Boy, and them beating up Luchasaurus and cutting the horns off of Luchasaurus's mask. So they got pulled, which I think is a great thing because you don't want to see guys like that lose. They're just too good right now at what they're doing, and they are in a prime spot where you don't want them being eliminated in this type of match. So Tony Khan made the right decision with that, Jesse. Did you hear about that, and what was your first thought about FTR being pulled from this Battle Royal?
When was the last time they wrestled? Both of them? I know Dax just wrestled Jungle Boy, but what about Cash?
I don't know. It's been a couple of weeks.
I think he's hurt.
They may very well be. I don't know.
I think he's hurt. We just got Dax against Jungle, so we got Dax in a singles match. FTR haven't been together in a while. Then they were pulled from this Battle Royal. I think Cash is hurt. I think that's why FTR has been ghost as of late. We haven't seen them together in a while. And they're supposed to be on top. And they're having tag team rumbles and these kind of matches, and the number one contending team is MIA. I think Cash is hurt.
That may be the case. I haven't read anything, but I don't want to insinuate or throw speculation out there if he's not really hurt. But it very well could be the case.
It could be.
I mean, at least they made sense of it.
Yeah, and that's what I like. I mean, that's what I like. But because the part that doesn't make any sense is how they haven't showed up at all. Even if you pulled them from the match because you don't want them to lose, how come they weren't out there, causing fucking mayhem, somehow kicking somebody's ass?
Somebody in the chat said Kenta just told Kenny Omega to shut the fuck up. Is that true?
I don't know about that one, but Kenny challenged Kenta and Lance Archer and Moxley to a 6-man tag against the Bullet Club and them and the Good Brothers.
Wait. Who were the first three?
Moxley, Kenta, and Archer versus the Good Brothers and Kenny.
They're insinuating that Moxley and Kenta are teaming up?
Moxley just challenged Kenta, Archer, and Moxley to a 6-man tag.
I don't know why that makes sense if Kenta came out and attacked Jon Moxley.
I know. Unless I'm picking up this clip wrong, but that's what it looked like. He looked like he was challenging Kenta.
Somebody in the chat find out what the clip is while we move on with this show. I don't know. Yeah. Some people are saying that that's not right. Kenta and Kenny versus Moxley and Archer.
Oh, that's the two. Okay. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
I couldn't make out the fucking audio with you talking in my ear.
So I don't know when that's gonna happen, but Falls Count Anywhere. Corey Thomas, thank you for the clarification in the chat. Falls Count Anywhere, Kenta and Omega versus Moxley and Archer.
There we go.
Sounds pretty interesting. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but keep us updated on that, and we will get into that a little bit later. But MJF and Jericho won the AEW Tag Team Battle Royal here. FTR, like I said, they were missing in action. Tony Khan left them out of this because of their actions last week against the Lucha Express. So the Young Bucks, they got their big entrance. We got a couple of entrances here We got the Acclaimed making an entrance. We got Jericho and MJF making an entrance. I'm looking at the Acclaimed, bro, and I'm looking at both of these guys, and I said to myself, out of all the new teams that we got, you know, you got Top Flight, you got the Acclaimed, you got TH2 coming along, Bear Country's there. I got a glimpse of them a little bit. I feel like the Acclaimed sticks out to me the most. What do you think about these new youthful tag teams on Dynamite? And why is the Acclaimed? I don't know how you feel about it. I know you're big on Bear Country, but how do you feel about the Acclaimed? I feel like they're more, as far as developed goes, further along than these other teams, and I feel like they just have genuine charisma and character compared to these other teams as well. I think the ceiling is very high for these two.
We got we got Top Flight, we got the Varsity Blondes, we got Bear Country. You know, we have a lot of really good young tag teams coming up through the AEW ranks, but the Acclaim is far and beyond that talent, man. They are ready. They are just done. It seems like they're green, but they are just getting ripe, dude. They are fucking. You see that music video yesterday?
Yeah,
that was fucking amazing.
Yeah. I think they're great. I mean, they both got the presence, and they both come off as stars. And they're so young. Man. I love seeing it, honestly. I really do.
Yes. They are. They have all of it, man. They have all of it. I thought Top Flight was gonna win the Battle Royal when it came down to one of those guys being left, because I know they're high on them, but they're higher on the Acclaim, man. Those guys, it's like the MJF of the tag division, man. Yeah. They are so good.
Yeah, I'm going to mention something that you just mentioned here. This Battle Royal really showed who Tony Khan is really, really high on. The chat is saying that it's Kenta and Omega versus Moxley and Archer next week on Dynamite, non-sanctioned.
There we go.
I mean, good for them. That's going to get people fucking talking.
In a match.
Yep. Yeah, now Kenta's booked in a fucking match on Dynamite.
Yeah, this is a merger, guy. This is how mergers happen. You know, you don't get the press conference and the handshake and the signing. It just kind of happens organically.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we'd be sitting there saying, why is this happening? Because they struck a deal? No, this is happening because Moxley showed up over here and did this. This is happening because the Good Brothers showed up over here and did that. It's happening organically, and this is going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be very fun. I'm looking forward to that. I wasn't looking forward to Dynamite because they didn't really announce anything that caught my eye, but now I'm looking forward to Dynamite. It's going to be fucking awesome. We got the Young Bucks. They made their entrance last. They took out a bunch of teams with spears and super kicks before this battle royal even started. Isaiah Cassidy missed a big dive early in the match. The reason I know that he missed is because he screeched in the air and he missed everybody. They all moved out of the way, so good for them.
That shit parted like the Red Sea.
Yes, good. That's the way it's supposed to be. Dante Martin was eliminated by Private Party. Hager eliminated Alex Reynolds. Stu Grayson stayed in there. He was doing his thing. Silver eliminated Jake Hager. John Silver was a little house on fire in here, and he was put over pretty decently in this thing. So we all know that Tony Khan is big on John Silver. This battle royal just kind of, continued that line of thinking. Matt Jackson was backdropped onto the ramp, and he was eliminated early on. So Matt was gone, leaving Nick all by himself. Jericho, MJF eliminated Anthony Bowens. Luchasaurus got a little showcase spot in the middle of the ring where he knocked down half of the remaining people in the ring with some strikes and some big man moves. Grayson tried to suplex Luchasaurus over the top. That wasn't happening, but Luchasaurus suplexed him onto Bowens before being eliminated by the Dark Order. MJF tossed out Evil Uno. Martin blocked Private Party, Silly String, and eliminated Mark Quinn. Silver suplexed both Santana and Ortiz, but he celebrated, and then he got eliminated. He got eliminated from the Battle Royal. Nick Jackson was going wild on both Santana and Ortiz and tossed out Santana before eliminating Ortiz with a super kick. So Nick Jackson took out both guys. Cassidy and Nick Jackson had a little back and forth. Gallows and Anderson came out of nowhere and appeared, and they helped Nick Jackson with the elimination of Isaiah Cassidy. simply because Private Party are getting an Impact Tag Team title match on February 13th, and that is what's going on there. That happened by Mr. Gallows pulling down the top rope from the outside. Nick exchanged words with the Good Brothers. What are you doing? What's going on? MJF took advantage and dumped Nick Jackson, dumped him over the top rope. Jericho, MJF, Sammy G, Jungle Boy, Darius of Top Flight, and Max Caster of the Acclaimed were the final six. Each Inner Circle member here wrestled one-on-one with the other guys. They teamed up briefly. The Inner Circle worked together to try and eliminate Jungle Boy, but the other two wrestlers broke it up. MJF then eliminated Jungle Boy after a small back and forth and some teases of elimination. MJF and Sammy faced off in the ring here. You knew it was coming. Caster came in and attacked both of them, broke that up. Caster then held MJF up so that Sammy was open to attack him, but MJF avoided this, and he avoided a super kick. Caster then was the one to eliminate MJF, and Darius eliminated Caster. So we got the final three here. We got Jericho, Guevara, and Darius. And we got the Inner Circle obviously working together against Darius of Top Flight. Darius went to town, took them both out with a double DDT. Darius nearly eliminated Guevara, but Jericho tried to eliminate Darius, inadvertently dumping Sammy over the top rope. And I use that term inadvertently very loosely. It seemed to be done on purpose. Darius downed Jericho with a dropkick, but he was sent to the apron and eliminated with a devastating Judas effect. Jericho and MJF win this Battle Royal and become the number one contenders. Jesse, there was a lot going on in this Battle Royal. It moved several stories here. We got the Private Party and Good Brothers thing going on. We got whatever's going on with the Bucks and the Good Brothers. We got Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus remaining strong in this thing. The Dark Order looks strong. The Acclaimed looks strong because Acclaimed and Top Flight had one remaining member each at the end of this thing. We got the Inner Circle story really taking an interesting turn here with Sammy pretty much being fed up with Jericho and MJF primarily. But this was a very fun Battle Royal. I did not expect Jericho and MJF to win this thing. That should be a fun match at Revolution with the Bucks. But what I'm looking forward to is, and I might as well jump into this, Jericho and MJF won this thing. Jericho got into a little back and forth with Sammy. Sammy walked out of the dressing room. Jericho went to go chase after him. And Jesse, MJF told Wardlow to get the cameraman out of here. Wardlow closed the locker room or dressing room door, and MJF wanted to address Santana, Ortiz, and Hager by himself behind Jericho's back. I don't know what's going on here, but of all the weeks we've seen this storyline kind of, be strung along, this was the most interesting of all the weeks because of MJF kind of becoming the MJF of old, and who the hell knows what he's up to?
I do. I called it when he started flirting with the Inner Circle. Jericho's out. MJF will be in as the new head of the Inner Circle. The only X factor that I wasn't sure on was Sammy. I was still saying that Sammy was going to end up turning on Jericho as well, and everybody was going to kick him out. But maybe they're ready to release Sammy to go babyface, which I don't know. I'm sure he can make it work, but I like Sammy as a heel. But nonetheless, man, MJF is going to take over the Inner Circle.
So you think the guys are willingly going to go along with MJF, and he's going to convince them that Jericho is no longer capable of leading the Inner Circle?
Yeah. I think they boot Jericho out. I still think Jericho takes some time off. To be honest, they really don't need him right now at all. And I think the reason for that is since they put MJF in the Inner Circle. Because before, if it was just, okay, Jericho needs some time off, the Inner Circle will be fine by themselves, they might flounder. But put MJF in that spot, Jericho gets beat down, takes some time off, Inner Circle is perfectly fucking fine, bro. And then when Jericho comes back, he's the biggest baby face around. He can take on the Inner Circle and everything else.
So this clearly is going to come to a head at Revolution. I don't see them winning the tag team titles. There's no reason to take those titles off the Bucks.
Yeah, no, I don't know why they won this Battle Royal, though, to be honest. I think they could have gave it to one of the younger teams out there. To me, it seems like right now in 2021, Bianca Belair is the only legit Royal Rumble winner there has been this year. Now, I'll give him credit.
Oh, you mean to tell me both of her feet did not touch the floor? Is what you're saying?
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Because that's what everybody's insinuating.
You know, Ronda's shoulders didn't get pinned either.
Well, I know that, but so, I just find these people on social media ridiculous. Will you let the woman have her fucking moment, please? You all wanted her to win. Now you're fucking calling an obvious situation that wasn't a botch. It was close.
Close.
But yes, Bianca Belair is the only person as far as a youthful talent that's being pushed and being moved upward.
Yeah, now I'll give AEW a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because it already seems like this match, this battle royal, was planned and booked for the intent that they needed it for. That's how they carried it out. It's not like the Royal Rumble where it's like, okay, we're gonna get to see a new up and coming star, and then here's Edge. No, this is a Rumble that didn't even previously exist. They came up with it for the reason of pushing the storylines that they intended to push. Yeah. So I get it. It just would have been nice to see one of the younger guys win the turn. That's all. I mean, they'll get their. I'm not worried about it. They'll get their time. All of them will. There's a lot of fantastic tag teams that they all can't have fucking titles, bro. They got to space it out. So I get that part. So they'll get their time.
Yeah. Yeah, fun battle royal nonetheless. We got a lot of moving parts. All the moving parts made sense. Had a good time watching it. And Jericho MJF are going to Revolution to battle for the tag team titles against the Young Bucks, with the Inner Circle having their turmoil just become more and more apparent as the weeks go on. We got Tony Schiavone in the middle of the ring with Darby Allin. Schiavone then introduced your favorite, Jesse, Sting. Sting is back on Dynamite. And the snow began falling, and we got the Team Taz guys outside. They were not allowed in the building. And a lot of people were wondering why were they not allowed in the building. If you guys watched Dynamite last week, they attacked a couple of AEW employees who were out there innocently selling T-shirts, and they got lawn darted into the production truck, and one guy went through a table. So we got some chaos that happened last week, which Tony Khan made the decision to not let them in the building this week to do the same thing with Darby and Sting there present in the ring. So
that wasn't my question for the day.
I know it wasn't. Listen, you'll get your time here. Let me go over what happened here. We got Darby in the middle of the ring. He's defending his TNT title against Bad Boy Joey Janela next week, which I will get to also in a second. I don't know why. Taz interrupted before Darby said anything. He was outside the arena and complained that they weren't allowed in the arena because they decided to take out some employees last week. He said they'll be keeping an eye on Darby next week. Ricky Starks said if they were allowed in the building, he tells Sting to his face he doesn't think he's the same man from years past. He wished Darby luck next week because he'll definitely need it. And then they all collectively left. Then Sting took the microphone and told Team Taz that if you're going to be there next week for Darby's match, then I'm going to be there, and I'll make sure it's a one-on-one. He said if Ricky thinks he won't see the icon the way that everybody else looks at the icon, you're talking about the old Sting? I don't know what you're talking about. All you got to do is look into my eyes. You need to take a closer look. Short, sweet from Sting. Really, we don't have any other new information as far as the relationship between Sting and Darby. I think we are to assume that this is mentor-student, but they really haven't said that in those exact words.
I'll just make up my own fucking narrative for that.
Yeah. This is exactly what we're doing. We're creating our own narrative here. Short and sweet from Sting. I think we're assuming that it's teacher and student. We got the street fight coming up at Revolution. It's going to be a big deal. I'm very excited to see what they do with the presentation of this match. But as far as that goes, Jesse, we got the TNT title next week between Darby and Joey Janela. I think it's going to be an entertaining match. I don't know why Janela's getting a title shot against Darby. He's not even in the top 5. I wouldn't even rank him in the top 10. I just feel like Joey Janela is there and he exists when Tony Khan needs someone to plug into a role, and let's call on Joey Janela because he's there. That's pretty much it. But I don't know why he's getting a title shot, but What do you think of this ongoing narrative of Sting being in Darby's corner next week? And do you feel any different about this? Are you excited about the fight coming up at the pay-per-view, the street fight?
Okay, so Team Taz arrived to the arena, right?
Yeah. Here we go, folks.
They get to the arena.
Here we go.
And they would not be let into the building, correct?
Yes.
Where the fuck was Brian Cage's shirt?
Listen, bro, if I look like Brian Cage and I had a six-pack like Brian Cage and I had pecs like Brian Cage, I'd be walking around without a shirt either.
40 fucking degrees.
It's 40 degrees. Maybe he enjoys a nice brisk walk with his shirt off. I don't know.
That means he got to the arena, took his shirt off, and then tried to go into work.
Bro, listen, he's so angry at Sting and Darby that he was breaking out in sweats. That's why he took his shirt off.
Look, man, I just wanted to know what
Maybe he made a
shirt.
promise to his wife. Listen, honey, I'm going on TV. I know you like me without the shirt on, so I'll keep it off.
Yeah, somebody missed something in that fucking segment, man.
That's what you're basing your expert analysis on. Brian Cage not having a t-shirt on.
It was so fucking distracting, man. You guys just got to the arena. Why does he not have a shirt on? Why is he oiled up? It's 40 degrees outside in Jacksonville.
Listen, man, I can't tell you. Listen, when you see Brian Cage at a signing, next time we go to a signing, I want you to ask him this very question. Remember on that February 3rd episode of Dynamite, you were addressing Sting and Darby. Why didn't you have a shirt on and you were not allowed in the building?
We did see Brian Cage in person, live, me and you, in the summertime.
I know.
Outside,
he seemed like a fine gentleman.
with a shirt on in the summer.
Listen, man, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
He had a shirt on in the summer in Chicago.
All right, here's a better one. Why did Taz have a microphone if they weren't allowed in the building?
Hey, the camera crew gave him one. Whatever.
Okay.
I'll take that.
Okay. All right. Well, Brian Cage likes to walk around without his fucking shirt on.
I thought about that too. He said, well, fine. Well, send me a camera crew out. We got shit to say. All right, here's your camera crew. Here's your mic, but you're not fucking coming inside. And then Brian Cage said, cool, I'm taking off my shirt. What the fuck is wrong with him?
Hey. Listen, I want them to be consistent next week. All right? If he's going to be in the fucking building, I want him in the fucking building around ringside with no shirt on. Don't show me a shirt next week.
No shirt, no shoes, no service, asshole. What the fuck is this guy?
I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, that was that. Short, sweet. It's happening next week. Janela and Darby. Should be a train wreck of sorts. I mean, they have history together on the indies, so we'll see what happens. But it's about Sting and Darby and Team Taz at the pay-per-view. We don't know how it's going to be portrayed and presented. That's the whole big mystery behind it, and that's what is going to get people talking and intrigued about the match. Now, we got Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
Oh, shit.
This is Dr. Baker, Jesse, okay? I want to make sure you are fully aware that Doctor is in the title of her name. I don't want you addressing Britt by just Britt Baker. It's Dr. Britt Baker, okay? And we got Thunder Rosa.
Brittany.
Who?
It's Brittany.
Listen, don't let me call Bay up. He doesn't like when you disrespect his Bay, okay?
He had his own problem. I heard Edge is coming to his backyard today.
Well, whatever. Adam Cole's got his own fucking things to worry about. We got Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, Dr. Britt Baker here in this match. This was a match that was supposed to happen 2 weeks ago. Thunder Rosa came in contact with somebody that had COVID-19. They postponed the match till beach break, and I actually think it worked out better for them. They got their own little spotlight. They got at least 15 minutes on tonight's show. And, you know, once upon a time, Jesse, I remember with Miss Rosa watching the show, unbeknownst to us that she was watching, and then she heard you misinform everybody about Piper Niven or whatever the hell was going on. And you made a mention about Miss Rosa not selling enough. And we were talking about Rosa and Ivelisse and all that stuff and what you had analyzed all those weeks ago. Tonight, I think she shut you up. I genuinely believe that she went into this match. She's like, that motherfucker on OTS. He doesn't like me selling. He says I don't sell. I'm going to fucking show this guy something. So she sold tonight, Jesse, and she sold very well for Britt Baker. And Britt Baker pulled out moves that we've never seen in her repertoire. She wrestled very well tonight. There was a nice little sequence before the lockjaw. Rosa was going at it. There was some nice back and forth on the ground, map-based wrestling. We got two women who seemed to be very comfortable with each other in the ring, and it ended up being one of AEW's better women's matches in months, with a fuck finish, of course. But if the fuck finish is any indication, I am very excited to see if they add this match, as far as a rematch goes, to Revolution. What'd you think of the match? What'd you think of Rosa? What'd you think of Dr. Britt Baker? And how this match came off on Dynamite tonight?
It was terrible. Britt botched the ending. Move on. All right. I'm kidding. Look, easily and by far, this was the absolute best match of Britt Baker's career.
Yes.
No cap.
And we said it needed to be. It needed to be. She needed to bring it. She needed to bring that fucking Bay spirit to Daly's place tonight.
It was easily the best match of her career. I got no punchline to that. I don't want to take anything from it because the Britt Baker that debuted in AEW last year to what we saw tonight was night and day. It was night and day. If I would have saw this Britt Baker debut a year ago, I never would have uttered a single thing about her. But after this match, now I will say this though, I do want to see her in one more match that does not involve Thunder Rosa, because I tell you right now, it is not a coincidence that she had the best match of her career and she faced Thunder Rosa for the first time.
Listen, that's the easy. Listen, everybody's going to say the same fucking thing. I don't need to listen to anybody or watch anybody's post show to know what people are going to say. I'm just that smart, okay? I know what people are going to say before they say it. Everyone is going to credit Thunder Rosa in this match, and you have every right to do that because she's fucking fantastic. Okay? It's easy to have a good match with Thunder Rosa. Everybody that's been in the ring with Thunder Rosa has had a great match with Thunder Rosa. And that goes to her and what she is capable of doing. But I don't want people to overlook, because it would be unfair, I don't want to say that Britt Baker is going to be the AEW Women's Champion. She very well could be, or she should be the champion. But the progress of Britt Baker that has been showcased on Dynamite for, I want to say maybe 6 to 9 months. The progress of Britt Baker has been very noticeable. So if you were going to talk about this match, I do not want you to hang your hat on, she had a great match because she is in the ring with Thunder Rosa. No, it's because Britt Baker is working her fucking ass off to get better in the ring. We have watched every single episode of Dynamite. We know the spots and we know the situations in which Britt did not look good. There was many of them. And those spots are becoming fewer and fewer as we move on. And that is a great thing. And one of the things that I love about not only being a commentator for House of Glory, but for me as a fan, is to watch people mature, people get better, and people grow. This is why I loved NXT so much before NXT died 1,000 deaths. Everybody on that show was getting an opportunity, and you've seen growth in everybody on a week-to-week basis. There was hunger. There was striving to be better than the last week. And that's exactly what you're seeing from Britt Baker.
It is. I mean, I think that's the biggest takeaway from this match. It's not about the overall performance of the match, because if I'm gonna look at the match and just grade it for what I see, and it was a decent match. It was okay. It was good. It was nothing spectacular. But like you said, it's the progress from what we've seen from Britt Baker over the last year, and up into what we saw tonight. And you can't deny that she has been working her ass off on her gimmick, on her in-ring work, and it shows. I mean, it shows. It shows by leaps and bounds. So, like I said, I do want to see her in another match. Outside of someone who has the ability to completely carry it, but nonetheless, you just can't just get in a ring with Thunder Rosa and look great because she's Thunder Rosa. You have to work. All right, so she worked at it, and you can tell right away that she's comfortable working with Thunder Rosa. I noticed a couple of the transition spots that she kind of made cringe last week. She completely cleaned those up this week. Mm-hmm. And this is one of those moments where I don't mind eating my words and eating my comments. Because when I say Britt Baker sucks and she needs to work on it in the ring, that's a harsh comment to make at a show. But at the same time, a few months later, I'm going to say Britt Baker deserves every single piece of praise that she gets tonight because she's earned it.
There were things that I picked up on. Her air raid crash is definitely something out of the Adam Cole playbook. Her sling blade was a lot better than it's been. There was a little bit more intensity behind it. Her super kicks are getting a little bit more fluid. And Thunder Rosa is always intense. That's why I think everybody just really genuinely enjoys her work. She's always intense, and she brings that pro wrestling aspect to a women's match. And I've always said to a lot of people, no matter who you are, I'll say it on the air, I'll say it whoever I'm talking about pro wrestling with. Women's wrestling, you see some of these women's wrestlers, they get in there and they're afraid to get down and dirty. They're afraid to break a nail or pull out a hair extension or whatnot or whatever. But Thunder Rosa is not that way. She wrestles like one of the guys, and that's why I really appreciate what she brings to the table. Britt Baker, with what she did in this match, very well. We had Rosa coming back from behind after being on the defensive for a little bit. She landed a running cannonball on the corner. She got a 2 count off the running cannonball. Baker took over again, beat up Rosa at ringside. Rosa made another comeback, threw Baker into the ringside barricade. Baker was dominating through the commercial break. And then we get back into the ring. Rosa came back again with a Death Valley driver on the walkway on the stage. It was quick, it was fluid, and it was impactful on the stage. Back in the ring, Baker rallied, including a super kick to the face. Got a near fall off the super kick. Baker counted a Rosa comeback with an air raid crash for a near fall. Baker then went for the lockjaw, but Rosa reached for the ropes and then leveraged Baker's shoulders down for a 2 count out of the lockjaw, which was nice. That led to a nice back and forth sequence between the two ladies, rolling around on the mat. Nice chain wrestling. Rosa trying to avoid the lockjaw. Britt trying to continue to put on the lockjaw. So I love commentary saying that Rosa had studied this exact sequence to be prepared for this match. Baker drove Rosa face first into an exposed turnbuckle. Now, this happened behind the referee's back when Rebel actually came in physically into the ring and pulled off the middle turnbuckle. This led to what I thought was the sloppiest part of the match, but I got to give Thunder Rosa credit. She sold it like death. The referee did not see any of this happening. Baker drove Rosa into the turnbuckle. Baker went back first, and then Rosa charged in, and then Baker just planted Rosa's face into the middle turnbuckle. Like I said, Rosa sold it like death. And Baker got the lockjaw on Rosa. She was knocked out cold at that point. The referee was forced to stop it. And Britt Baker gets a fuck finish victory over Thunder Rosa. And like I said before, Jesse, if this match is leading to a rematch at Revolution, I'm all for it. Just keep Rebel out of ringside area.
Britt, the thing I liked most about the ending sequence for this match for Britt Baker, she looked so believable. Yeah. At the go home segment of the match, and she looked like she knew that she just fucked over Rosa, and she knew that she was gonna get that win, and then she found her spot, she found her camera, got her look, and everything else. She just looked like a believable heel. So I think the ending for me was a testament to her gimmick work, but the match itself was pretty damn good, man. Hats off.
Yep. Really good stuff here. Hoping we get a rematch at Revolution. Hangman Page and Big Money, Matt Hardy versus Chaos Project. This is Serpentico and Dr. Luther. And this was a late addition to the show. Last week, we got Adam Hangman Page being courted by Matt Hardy, and there was a nice little piece of information here. We got Hangman and Matt Hardy actually going back in time, and commentary mentioned that these two did work together in the wrestling promotion that Matt and Jeff were first a part of right when they were about to break into the business. So there is a little history here between Page and Matt Hardy, but this was a late addition to the show. Really no surprises here. Page and Hardy win. Dr. Luther was actually in the ring here. Page was setting up for a buckshot lariat, but Luther yanked him off the ring apron, and Page avoided a running cannonball senton off the ring apron, hit a buckshot lariat on Serpentico. Hardy tagged himself in and immediately went for the 1-2-3 off of Adam Page's buckshot lariat. So it was an egotistical thing by Matt Hardy. Page was upset, and Hardy went to give him a high five. Page refused, but at the end of the match, Page did raise Matt Hardy's arm, and it kind of gave Matt Hardy a little bit of hope. Matt Hardy went to go hug him. We don't know what's going on here, but it continues to be Adam Page is a highly sought-after talent, I would say, for Matt Hardy and the Dark Order. So he's definitely being courted by several individuals on the AEW roster. What'd you think of this, Jesse? And are you interested in where they're going with Adam Page in this entire, we got to get Adam Page situation?
No.
You're not interested in any of it?
No, that's all. No, man, I don't know what else to say about this, man. I had an interest in
the Dark Order.
Whether or not he was going to join the Dark Order. Yeah. But I don't want to see him just now being a homeless wanderer looking for a home.
Yeah. It really doesn't present him in a good light. It really doesn't present him in a good light at all. It makes him look like a loser, even though we know he's not.
It seems like they have no real direction for him. They're just kind of putting feelers out there to see what sticks.
Yeah.
I mean, it was genuine and organic when the Dark Order was trying to court him, and he kept saying no. And look, that's where this is all coming around to. At the end of this whole storyline, Page is going to join the Dark Order. But how they get us there is the story. That is the story. It's not going to be, okay, here's Page in the Dark Order. Tell us a story. Well, this is a part of the story. And him wandering around looking for a home, it just don't seem right. I had a better advancement of this story on BTE this week. I don't know if you watch BTE, but there was a segment where Hangman was in the Dark Order's room, and he had a discussion with Anna Jay. And
I think I seen it right. He went for the bottle of alcohol, and she told him to get the fuck out of here.
Right? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. You piece of shit. You led them on, and now they're all pissed off. Get out of here. And he felt bad and left. That was a better set. If they could have put that spot on Dynamite tonight and eliminated this match, it would have been a better look for Hangman.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know where they're going with this. It seems almost as if Adam Page is really in the middle of nothing, just biding his time until they really just unleash him to the world and he goes and chases Kenny Omega for the world title. Because we all know what's eventually happening.
Yeah, and it does. I mean, and again, I want to see him in the Dark Order, but I don't want to just see him next week announced he's in it. So I do want to see a story involved, and that's what they're giving him. Mm-hmm. This one just seems a little weird that they go in this direction, but let's see where they go with it. It was just 1 week. Let's see where they go with it. But I'm not digging him being courted by Matt Hardy, especially since Matt Hardy already made. See, now it looks like if Page even joins Matt Hardy, Page looks like an idiot because you just signed with a guy who just jumped in and took a pin from you. You seem kind of stupid, but I don't think he's joining Matt Hardy. It's not going down that route. They just try to make the story to get him into Dark Order. It may lead to him getting jumped and beat down by somebody in Dark Order coming out to save him or something like that.
Yeah.
And so we'll see.
We got MJF and Chris Jericho celebrating that they did it. They won the Battle Royal. But the rest of the inner circle are all sitting in their dressing rooms. Why are we always collateral damage, he asked. Sammy asked. You always say we're in this together. Sometimes I'm not so sure. He walked out of the room. Jericho went to go check on him. MJF said it's time they had a conversation. So he told Warlord to kick the cameraman out, closed the door, and he sat and talked with Santana, Ortiz, and Jake Hager. And we talked about that a little bit earlier. It seems the inner circle is imploding right before our very eyes. Jesse, we got a wrestling wedding on AEW Dynamite, and I am not a fan at all of wrestling weddings. Some have been better than others, but in the grand scheme of things, they all are just ultimate cringe, to say the least. And I think the one thing that a lot of people were looking forward to from this wedding, even though we don't give a fuck about Penelope Ford or Kip Sabian, is Miro. And a lot of people were hoping that this would finally be the moment that Miro broke away and he is on his way to being what we all want him to be in AEW after leaving WWE, and that is a top-of-the-card level performer, which he still is. He just needs the proper push to get there. That didn't exactly end up in this particular wedding. That did not happen. And we got what was, at first, a very, I don't want to say intriguing, but I would say mildly entertaining wedding that was led by James Mitchell, Sinister Minister. He used to manage Abyss in Impact, or TNA. And after James Mitchell was done, this completely went off the fucking rails, and we got like 12-car pileup on I-95. This was awful.
I didn't like any of it.
I know you didn't like any of it. You told me via text. This was just, it didn't really offer anything but what a typical wedding provides on a wrestling program, and that is campy comedy that is painfully unfunny and cringe.
Yeah. Nothing happened before the vow. It just seemed like it was just a regular wedding.
Yeah.
It just seemed like it was just a wedding. And then when they got to the wrestling shenanigans at the end, it was just orange in the cake. Put the cake in the bride's face. Somebody get beat up. And it was just fucking... And look, I want to leave with this. I was looking forward to this. I was looking forward to this wedding. On the other hand, I don't mind wrestling weddings. I love them. I mean, that's a good spot to get some iconic moments in. But this was just by the book and just boring. I mean, it was so bad. So he had Miro stop the part where they say, well, is there anyone that want to say anything? But he stopped that part. Then they actually had the legit, ending of it. And then oranges in the cake. He puts the cake in Penelope's face. And then Chuck gets his comeuppance. I thought he was still his butler or something. But nonetheless, that's not even the point. The point is, nothing happened in this wedding that could not have been done in a backstage segment.
Well, apparently people in the chat are saying this was a legit wedding. I knew that they were scheduled to be married. It may have been legit, but I do think that they will have their own wedding somewhere. I mean, I can't see this being it.
Guys, chat, relax. Look, let's define legit wedding. Was there a legit minister in the ring?
I don't think so. I
don't think somebody was
even if he is, I don't want him
Florida.
fucking ministering my wedding.
Whoever. I don't think that it was somebody ordained, by the state of Florida to provide a wedding. Now, that's not to say they didn't go to the courthouse and get their marriage license beforehand and things like that. But hats off to them. I'm glad. That's awesome. But if you want to make it a legit wedding, make it feel more legit, because it just felt like a bad wrestling wedding that wasn't funny.
Yeah. But we had Jerry Lynn come out here. He walked Penelope down the aisle. Mitchell was ministering this thing. He said unholy matrimony, which seemed to pretty much startle Mr. Sabian. Sabian took the toothpick that was in his mouth and he put it in his suit or tuxedo pocket. He read his vows to Penelope. He talked about when he first saw her wearing her one piece with those knee-high boots and your eyes met my eyes, meeting your chest. I knew that this was meant to be. He promised to cherish her forever because she's beautiful on the outside and damn, you are hot on the outside. Or beautiful on the inside and hot on the outside. He said he loves her very much. Penelope then shared her vows. She said that she loves him so much and you have the biggest ... He then took the microphone away from her and interrupted and says, listen, honey, you don't have to share all that information with anybody because he knows she wants to share the rest of her life with him. So then they moved on to exchanging the rings, and we got Chucky T pulling out the ring box, handing it to Miro, who handed it to Sabian. Mitchell asked Sabian if he takes this alluring creature to be his wife and to have and to grope in sickness and in health, for richer or for poorer, kayfabing all others, for as long as you both shall live. Sabian said, I do. Mitchell then asked Penelope if she takes Kip to be her husband, to have and to grope, on and on with the same words. She said, I do. She put the wedding ring on Kip's finger, back and forth. As Mitchell asked if anyone objects, Miro interrupted and said, he's been there before, and they're skipping this part of the wedding because you know what actually happens during these things, and he doesn't want a repeat of what happened with Lana and Lashley. So that's that. He didn't actually say that, but that's what they were insinuating. So there were some subtle hints about Miro being through this circus before, and he doesn't want this to be a repeat of what happened last time. Mitchell said, by the power invested in him by AEW and Tony Khan, he pronounces them man and wife. You may now kiss the ball and chain. They began making out there. Sabian's lips were covered in red lipstick from Penelope Ford. Miro then asked Chucky T, Chuck, to bring over some champagne. He told the audience to shut up because this is his time to speak now. This is his wedding, he said. So he gave a drink to Penelope. He gave a drink to Kip. He took a shot of champagne, downed it immediately, and then took another one. And then he told Chuck, listen, you ain't having one. You're on the job. You're on the clock. So go over there and stand like a geek you are. So Miro told Kip he's been in his place before. It's all about love. He talked about his bachelor party and said his knowledge is his present to him. He said his power and viciousness is his present. And speaking of present, he looked behind him and there was this tall silver wrapped box with a big bow on it. He's like, what is in this box behind me? So Miro was having flashbacks to Monday Night Raw. Miro then looked over at Chucky T, and Chucky T said, well, that's my gift to them. That's my gift. So Miro attacked the box, picked up the box, ripped the box, and threw it to the outside. It was empty. So he then went on to tell Chucky T to clean up the mess. The audience was singing something, I don't know, all about love or whatever the fuck they were talking about. I don't know exactly what song they were singing. Miro was singing, what is love? What is love? You know, Miro smiled. Yeah. Yeah. Miro smiled and said, that's enough. Then he yelled, let's get some cake. Miro looked down and noticed that his ankle was chained. Chucky T, while he went to go clean the outside, handcuffed fucking Miro's ankle to the steel post. So I don't know how he didn't feel that, but logic gap, not a logic gap. I don't know. You guys make an assumption on that situation. So this was all a setup. Orange Cassidy then leapt out of the fucking wedding cake. Penelope went face first into the cake. Taylor popped Kip in the head with a ice bucket. Cassidy then gave beach break to Kip. And then Cassidy's music played as Miro was throwing a fit as Penelope was crying on her wedding night. This was not good. This was not good. Miro looks like a geek, and we are still in the same situation. Miro has been made fun of more than he's been praised in AEW, and I think everybody, Jesse, is losing patience over Miro with all this fucking potential in AEW stuck in this godforsaken storyline.
He is, man. I mean, I don't know what to say. This was just not entertaining, man. This
is unlike Dynamite. Is this unlike Dynamite? I think this puts Dynamite into the Monday Night Raw category, and that's not a category you want to be in.
This was a Monday Night Raw-ish segment. It really was. So Miro was suspicious of the big box, but not of the big fucking cake.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's logic gap number 2, because I also don't know how he doesn't feel somebody handcuffing or ankle cuffing himself to the fucking bottom rope or the steel post.
He didn't feel himself being ankle cuffed. No. He knows wrestling weddings. He knows how these things go. He knows everything about this shit, but he didn't check the big fucking cake with the human being inside of it.
No, the same wedding cake that he was in that Lashley and Lana wedding.
Never dawned on him to look inside the fucking cake. Never dawned on him to look inside of these things. He's the best man. It is literally his job to look for these kinds of things around the fucking wedding.
Yeah.
But I digress, because ultimately, this is what I wanted from this segment. I wanted some progression in this Miro story. I wanted some progression in this Miro character, because he was brought into the company with the premise of being the best man to this wedding. So his whole fucking existence in AEW revolved around this wedding. Is that safe to say?
Yeah.
Well, we get here and this is all we got. This fucking sucked. So as far as I'm concerned, his entire gimmick is a complete failure right now.
It really is.
Because this is what he was brought in as the best man to this wedding, and the wedding was a shit show. So what's your purpose here now?
I have no idea.
We're getting
Miro and Kip Sabian versus Orange Cassidy and Chucky T at some point. I'm guessing Chucky T's services are no longer required.
You know, I don't know, but it just seems like they had, I don't know. Look, I'm not going to speculate on what they did. I'll just say this. It didn't come together well, and it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel entertaining. Nothing special about it. And if they dropped it completely and never mentioned it again, I don't think too many people would give a shit.
No, I mean, Tony Khan really needs to cut his losses here. It's as if, you know, he's keeping this Miro thing with Kip Sabian going, and the excuse that he gave is, it's going to take time. It's going to take time because he's been booked like shit in WWE for all these years. So you turn right around and you book him in a storyline that is exactly, not as bad, but exactly what WWE was doing with him. And at the end of the day, he's getting shit on for it. Now, he might not care because he may be a lot happier in AEW doing this. He may genuinely enjoy what he's doing here in AEW more than what he did in WWE. But, you know, at the end of the day, we all care about him. We want him to succeed. You know, it's going to get to a point where he's going to get frustrated with us because it's not happening. He's going to call us all a bunch of salty marks and we don't know what's going on and we don't have any patience, yada, yada, yada. But, I mean, the best way to combat years of shitty Vince McMahon booking with this guy, I mean, he looks the part, he talks the part, he just fucking feels the part. Book him as a dominant monster with a personality. It's not that difficult. He has personality here, but he's not coming off as a dominant monster. He actually looks like a fucking geek.
Yeah. This is where Miro is coming across a small problem in AEW right now, because they have the dominant monster corner, you know, all wrapped up.
Yeah.
They have too many big guy dominant monsters. So, and which is Miro's forte. So he can either get into the mix and be just like them or come up with something different. But this isn't it. What is he? He's a video game playing wedding usher. You know, what is this? Where are they going? What is this? I mean, so the wedding's over. Now what? Are you just the best man? Best at what? I'm best at everything. Come on, man. What the fuck is this?
Somebody in the chat said Brody Lee Jr. is booked better than Miro.
Brody Lee Jr. is booked better than fucking Kenny Omega. I mean, -1 was on Dark last night. This kid's awesome, man.
Listen, I mean, Miro might not care. He may be happy doing what he's doing, and he's just waiting his turn. And he realizes exactly what Jesse said, that they got that monster market already dominated by Lance Archer and Wardlow and Luchasaurus and Paige, right? But I mean, when you want to start breaking out and going after the TNT title and moving on up the ranks and, you know, having those great matches that you left WWE for, you know, it may be too little too late when that time comes, because all you're doing right now is losing people's interest. Everybody on my timeline on Twitter shitting on this guy, like, you know, this is exactly what they brought him in for. He's not the star that everybody thought he was, and that's the perception that people are getting now because of the way he's booked. And it's unfair. It really is. Yeah,
it is. It is, man. I don't know what to say, because he is going to go on social media and he is going to see that he's getting shit on, and he's going to get frustrated and he's going to say, what do you guys want from me? You know, look, if I could answer that, I would just say, look, man, just keep looking for the gimmick. He can go in the ring. We know that already, but it's not entertaining just to see him go get into a match and wrestle. He needs to find a gimmick. the Rusev gimmick worked. And I'll even venture to say that the Rusev gimmick worked primarily. It primarily got over at its origin because of his wife. Not just because of his wife, but the two of them together made an organic team, and he got over that way. Now, later on in his WWE career, he was continued to be over. He didn't need Lana anymore. But them together, her as the mouthpiece and him as the dominant, non-talking big brute, that was a great suit for him. I'm not saying go back to that, but I'm saying you just got to find that niche where you can get yourself over, and his natural charisma and ring talent will finish the rest of the way.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say on it either, but it did not come off good. And I think anybody that watched this on Dynamite tonight, you got a taste of Monday night, and all you need is a little taste of that, and it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth completely. And nobody wants to feel that way because Monday is enough.
Speaking of -1, not only did I watch BTE this week, I watched the Sammy vlog. And -1 was on there too. And man, that was fucking hilarious, dude.
Boy, he's everywhere. He's everywhere, huh? -1?
Dude, Sammy's vlog is growing legs and taking off. He's had Tony Khan on it. He's had Cody on it. He's had -1 on it. I mean, the Sammy vlog gets just as many views as BTE does.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, since Sammy won the BTE title, I went to venture to go check it out to see what was going on, and it was fucking entertaining, man. It really was. And -1 was fucking hilarious. Him and Cody together. You just got to see the shit, man. Yep. It's fucking great.
Yeah, I have not watched any of that. I had no idea about that stuff. Maybe I should check that out, because Sammy's very entertaining.
Is legit. Yes. Just as legit as BTE. It is really good.
You know what wasn't good? Was this fucking Lumberjack match. Lance Archer with Jake Roberts defeated Eddie Kingston tonight, evening their little feud here 1-1. This was a complete dumpster fire. I'm going to say it here, and I'm going to probably say it every time I fucking see one. I hate Lumberjack matches. They are fucking terrible. I fucking hate them. On a show where we see majority tag team matches, and we see run-ins left and right, and chaos left and right, then we got to see a fucking Lumberjack match between two guys that obviously know how to fucking wrestle, and it's nothing more than chaos, and it takes away from what these two guys really could do in the ring together. This shit sucked, okay? Lance Archer ran out and immediately attacked Eddie Kingston from the start. Butcher and Blade tripped up Archer, beat him down on the outside. Archer fought them off. He tried to chokeslam Peter Avalon, one of the Lumberjacks, but Avalon escaped, and Archer went headfirst into the ring post. Kingston then was sent outside. Billy Gunn sent him back in the ring. Kingston went after Butcher and Blade on the outside to go help him, or them rather, with whatever was going on there, because the heels and the baby faces were on opposite sides of the ring, so he felt like if he was over on the other side of the ring, he'd have more of an advantage. Archer dove onto everybody to take all the heels out. That led to a commercial break. That actually looked pretty impressive to see him dive the way he did. Archer hit a full Nelson bomb, landed some offense. Bunny ran in, and she hopped on Archer's back. Archer was going to hit her with the blackout. I wish he would have, but Kingston cut it off with a spinning back fist. Jake Roberts in this match attacked Angelico for some reason, and a shot from Butcher allowed Kingston to hit an exploder suplex for a 2 count. Blade set up a table, and then one of Bear Country, Bear Bronson, ran in and speared him through the table that was set up, and that evened the odds for Archer. Archer hit a big Uranagi for 2. Kingston went to the top rope, but Archer cut him off, hit the blackout for the win, and that was pretty much it. Jesse Chaos, which led to a one-on-one even now in this hopeful best of 3, and then we can call it a day. Revolution seems to be the place. It's not confirmed or announced or anything, but I mentioned it last week, I believe. Why don't we get these two in a steel cage match, even though steel cage matches don't really keep the people on the outside from entering the ring? Steel cage match between these two. Let them go at it. No outside interference or anything. Just give these guys a platform to beat the shit out of each other and really just end this. This was awful.
It was. Man, it was just boring, man. You know what else is boring? And I've given it a few weeks, and I've mentioned it a few times before, but babyface Lance Archer is not working for me. This is not working for me, man. I don't know if it's the way they have him booked. I mean, is he supposed to be this? He just runs out at the end of a match and beats up some heels. The dynamic with him and Jake is kind of, in a weird spot for me because of this new dynamic for Archer. And when he was a heel and he was with Jake, we saw progress in his character, mostly be through Jake's promos and Lance's and Archer's matches. I haven't seen any progress in his character at all since he turned babyface. None, really. I mean, he just comes out, attacks some people, and gets mentioned here and there. But I mean, it doesn't feel right, man. I'm just not digging it at all. When he was just the murder hawk and he came out and literally killed somebody before every match, that was fucking awesome.
Yep.
That was fucking incredible, man.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly the proper wording to use to describe what you're saying. I get what you're saying 100%, but Lance Archer definitely. I mean, the intensity is there. I see Lance Archer there. I just feel like with what he has as far as a full package goes, heel demeanor fits him a little bit better. I don't want to say he looks cartoony because he doesn't. He doesn't come off like a Braun Strowman. But I mean, that heel dynamic, it just works so much better for him. And that's the simplest way to put it. Like, he's not a babyface. He doesn't act like a babyface. He doesn't speak like a babyface. His manager or handler is not a babyface. But I feel like they turned him babyface because they want to do something with him. And I feel like they hit a brick wall with him as a heel. So the only real solution was to turn him babyface. But I also think that they hit a brick wall already with this babyface run.
They hit a brick wall for two reasons. A, because the guy comes off of it as a natural heel, especially with the way they first presented him to us. And B, it's with Jake Roberts. I mean, it's not working. When he comes out like a raging lunatic like that, it makes sense because he's just crazy. He's a murder hawk. But now he's just a babyface. Now he just kind of does the same thing, but less. But now he just comes out and attacks the heels. And there's no explanation as to why the shift. He's just kind of just shoehorned into situations and told to attack the heels now. It just kind of doesn't make any sense, man.
Yeah, Edgar Estrada in the chat says this: Stone Cold Steve Austin, even as a babyface, still kicked everyone's ass. Lance is doing the same thing. I get you, brother. But Lance Archer is not Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Lance Archer is not presented like Stone Cold Steve Austin at all.
No, Edgar. Edgar. Let me break this one down for you, bro. When Stone Cold Steve Austin did what he did, we knew what he did, why he did what he did, because he would express it in a promo. He would come out and tell you, look, babyface or heel, whoever, by the end of the show, I'm coming out and I'm kicking your ass for getting in the middle of my match last week. That's the fucking reason. And by the end of the show, guess what we saw? Austin kicking guys' ass at the end of the show like he said he was going to fucking do. And why he did it. Archer does not cut promos for himself. Jake does. And Jake has been cutting promos for him lately. So now that's where the gimmick starts to get lost as to why he's changing his strategies, in kayfabe land, but with no explanation. It's not about being a good guy and doing bad shit. That's just wrestling 101. But there's an explanation behind it. We understand it and we feel it. And plus, Stone Cold Steve Austin is the most relatable wrestling character probably in wrestling history. Nobody can relate to Lance Archer, especially as it is right now. Like, no. Why? What is going on? It's not the same thing, man.
And Big Stace in the chat, what part of everybody dies don't you guys understand? The thing is, nobody's dying. And I can only hope that if Lance Archer is in this thing with Moxley and is teaming up against Kenta and Kenny Omega, and we do get a non-sanctioned match, it's going to be a familiarity for Lance Archer to hopefully go and channel that New Japan Lance Archer that we've seen, that we all enjoyed. I'm not seeing that New Japan Lance Archer here. The theme song may say everybody dies, but I feel like it's actually the opposite here for Lance Archer in AEW. Nobody's dying. And it's not coming off that way. Lance Archer might have been a babyface for a little bit in New Japan, but, even then, I don't think he was booked like he is now in New Japan. I always seen a dominating big man figure in Lance Archer that was going to fucking murder you in New Japan. I'm not getting that in AEW. I don't know why.
No, the only thing I can see right now at this moment and helping push Archer as a babyface would be having him show up on foreign territory, have him show up in New Japan Pro Wrestling, have him show up in an Impact, and just attack a big time heel over there and do it in the name of AEW, and then let that cross media and that cross branding kind of carry with him. But it just doesn't make any sense to have him out here as a babyface now, and he's, it's just not vibing.
Yeah.
I mean, my suggestion would be, get him back to heel, but if that's not in the books, having him invade and show up at New Japan where he's comfortable, or at Impact and kind of beat the crap out of somebody because they showed up on the AEW first. Have it be for a reason. Just don't have him do it because he's Lance Archer. Somebody showed up and cost him a match or something. He shows up on their fucking territory and kills them. Yeah, but he don't play that shit.
Put him in there with somebody that he's really going to do damage with. Put him in there with Sammy. Yeah, have him show up on Impact and put him in a match with Sami Callihan. Put him,
man.
It's just bring out that fucking Lance Archer that we know is there. It's just not there right now.
It's just not there. It can be there. Look, he can be a babyface. The guy's good. He can do either one.
Lance Archer's great.
But he's great. But just the way they have him set up in this babyface role is just not clicking right now.
No. So I think a lot of people feel that way. We don't know what needs to be done there, but if this is an indication of what's happening next week with Moxley and Kenta, hopefully we see a little bit more of that intensity come out of Lance Archer.
Yeah, and I'm talking back to Murder Hawk. I mean, he shows up on New Japan and he just fucking murders somebody and leaves. Yep. That's what you do. Yep. I mean, turn him back into the Murder Hawk, but send him out on missions for Khan and AEW, because hell, Tony Khan's a babyface. Have him hire the Murder Hawk to go over to Impact and kick some ass because he's pissed off.
Yeah,
that'll be a babyface move.
Yeah,
So I like that.
Speaking of the opposite of babyface here, FTR and Tully Blanchard were sitting on a couch. It looked like they were in some sort of production truck or trailer of sorts. Cash said they were suspended like high school students. Tully complained for a while about how they've been treated, including being handcuffed to a dinosaur last week and being barred from this week's Battle Royal. Dax says they're not bad men, but they often have to think what bad men would do. All of a sudden, we started hearing grunting and moaning, and somebody sounded like he was being locked in a fucking closet or in a bathroom somewhere. So they roll into frame Marco Stunt, who's tied down into a office chair with duct tape on his fucking mouth. He's incapacitated here. And they captured Marco Stunt. FTR took Marco Stunt hostage because they want revenge against the dinosaur and his jungle boy. This was great.
Yeah, I like this.
That's pretty much all I got to say about that. It was just good stuff there. Again, looking forward to that tag team match when Cash is, I don't know if he's hurt or not. I haven't heard anything, but if they get back to the 2-on-2, I can't wait to see what those two teams do in the ring together.
Also, this is kind of another point to what I was making about Marco Stunt. I think it was last week. This is his role to play in Jurassic Express. Mm-hmm. He can be the guy who gets beat down, kidnapped, and now that's not Jungle Boy that being done to. And now, they have to come back and save their fucking buddy because he got his ass kicked and taken by these guys. And that's the dynamic I like with Marco. I mean, that's why I love them in this trio. I think when they have the trios titles, he can be an important part of them. He can take a lot of the heat, a lot of the bumps, and the guy is fucking good. He's just extremely undersized. And this is the role I like for Marco Stunt. So for people who shit on Stunt for his size and what he does, and I know the guy has his size issues, but everybody has a role they can play in wrestling, and Marco is playing his phenomenally right now.
Sometimes the supporting role is just as important as the main actor.
Yep.
That's exactly what Marco Stunt is doing. If he's in this role, I got absolutely no problem with it whatsoever.
And I guess the statistics say he is bringing in younger viewers for the company. So the guy is,
that's why he's on TV.
Job.
Yep. We got the main event, guys. This was a great 6-man tag. Really fun. Love all 6 of these guys. Omega, Good Brothers, Carl Anderson, and Doc Gallows. They defeated Jon Moxley, Pac, and Rey Fenix. We go to a small commercial break in the first third of this match. The heels were in control here, and we got the baby faces eventually making a comeback. Moxley reached for the tag. Fenix, the right guy, got the hot tag. He spiked Omega with a Hurricane Rana. Took care of Gallows with some kicks before landing a springboard headbutt on Anderson, which looked absolutely fucking beautiful. The height he got was ridiculous. He and Pac hit stereo moonsaults onto the Good Brothers before Fenix landed a cutter on Omega for 2. Omega fought out of a Fire Thunder driver, and the two traded chops back and forth. Omega sent Fenix off the top rope and crushed him with a draping Snapdragon suplex. Gallows tagged in, hit a big boot for 2. Pac tagged in. He got Gallows with some strikes, but Gallows kicked out at 1 upon Pac making a pinfall attempt. Pac ran face first into Gallows and a thrust kick, and the heels beat down Pac, and they ended that with a triple neck breaker on Pac. Moxley broke up a pinfall, and Omega flattened Pac with a Liger bomb for a 2 count. Omega hit a V-trigger, went for the one-winged angel, but Pac fought out, and his teammates made the save, and Pac then landed a beautiful bridging German suplex on Omega for a 2 count. Moxley tagged in, went for his bulldog choke, but the Good Brothers ran interference. Moxley and Omega had exchanged, where Omega hit a V-trigger, but Moxley sprung up with a huge lariat, taking out Omega. Fenix took care of both Good Brothers with a absolutely ridiculous tope con hero, where Fenix legitimately almost fucking cleared the barricade on the outside. That's how you do a goddamn suicide dive. Moxley had a suicide dive in the early portion of this match, and it looks just as bad as his WWE one. I urge him to stop. It's awful. That's how you do a suicide dive. Omega hit his own paradigm shift, but Pac broke up the pin attempt with a 450 splash. If Pac doesn't have bruised ribs from that pinfall breakup, I don't know what will cause that. It looked ridiculous. Anderson tagged in. He went for the stun gun, but Moxley hit his own stun gun for a cover. Fenix tagged in, hit a springboard moonsault for a 2. Anderson caught him, I believe, with a spine buster. Anderson has a beautiful spine buster. Good Brothers hit the Magic Killer on Fenix as Omega sent Pac to the showers with a V-trigger for the win. And the heels get the win here. 2 teams brawled after the match. Lance Archer ran out. He legitimately ran out to the ring, and he took care of the Good Brothers. Was wondering why he was out there. It's just he showed up out of nowhere, and it was just Moxley and Omega in the ring, but a masked man came into the ring and laid out Moxley. It was Kenta, who is challenging Moxley for the IWGP United States title and is a member of the current Bullet Club in New Japan. He finished Moxley with the go to sleep, and that's the way the show went off the air. This is Dynamite. This is Dynamite right here. These 6 guys are Dynamite. This was fucking great. Jesse, what'd you think of this main event? Kenta, the non-sanctioned match. I know we talked about it earlier, but what'd you think of this presentation here for the 6-man tag?
I like it. I couldn't figure out why they sent Archer out there at the end.
Yeah, that's what I was struggling with.
I think he was a little bit of a red herring. Like, okay, this is the big surprise ending we're gonna get, Archer running out, but then they sent out Kenta. No, we have a difference of it. Okay, and then it was Kenta. But I think Archer would just throw it out there just to kind of just throw everybody off the scent of a bigger surprise coming later. But this is awesome, man. I like. Look how many guys they have in the main event picture alone.
I know.
You know, it's so many moving parts. People have multiple storylines and multiple feuds on multiple brands and in multiple countries. You know, everything is just a big swirl of pro wrestling right now. And that's kind of awesome. That alone is kind of awesome. We're not sure who's facing who, on what brand, on what pay-per-view, on what continent. And that's the kind of unpredictability that we, gotten away from in pro wrestling, even with the internet and with Twitter and with leaks, we still had no idea that Kenta was getting ready to show up here tonight, and that this New Japan Pro Wrestling deal is becoming a little bit more of a reality now as we get further into the year.
Yeah, this is going to be great. The spring is going to be a great time for AEW.
Yeah, man. I'm telling. I don't know what else to say, man. It feels like Khan and these two other organizations are ready to hit the ground running when everything opens back up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I think for the first time in a long time, WWE actually has something to worry about as it pertains to outside companies, because the only reason I say that is because of the major deal that AEW has. And now they've opened up the gates to just bring in all kinds of unpredictable talent. And that's the kind of surprise that people want to see. Who's to say that they don't put a show on Monday night and then you have Kota Ibushi, you just have just the biggest names in the indie world show up in your main event? That's not going to look good for Raw Monday night's ratings.
No.
It's not gonna look good at all. I mean, you can't combat that, dude. You can't combat that. You can't combat, Kota and Kenny. You can't Okada showing up. You can't combat that with Matt Riddle and Baron Corbin.
No,
you can't, dude. You have to do something about that. So when that starts to happen, when AEW starts branching off to other nights and they start fluctuating the ratings on these other nights, WWE will make changes. And I can't wait to see what they are, because they have the talent to compete with anybody. They just need the creative.
Well, when AEW got started, bro, what was their whole thing? We're going to change the world. We're finally starting to see that after a year.
Yes.
It's all coming full circle.
There was no lies in that statement.
Yeah.
He's already, and I'm sure he's not done, he's already changed the wrestling world as we see it right now.
Yeah. It's happened. It's going to continue to happen. It's only getting better. But thank you guys so very much, man, for joining us. That is the conclusion of our analysis and breakdown of Beach Break AEW, the February 3rd edition of Dynamite. We got 609 likes in the chat. I'd love if you guys can get it to 700. I love it if you guys can get to 700, man. We're going to go over some super chats, and we're going to hang out for a little bit. I want to thank Dr. Squatch for sponsoring the show, as always. drsquatch.com. You guys can use code SCRIPT at checkout. Go get yourself some soap, some shampoo, some deodorant, some toothpaste, some cologne, shampoo and conditioner. It's all organic. It's all natural. And if I'm talking about it, you absolutely know it's quality, because I love quality. Quality over quantity, folks. Go get yourself some Dr. Squatch. drsquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout. You're going to save a whopping 20% off. So I want to thank those guys as always. We got some great sponsors coming up, man. We got The Ridge is back with us for the next 3 months during WrestleMania season. We got Blue Chew. We got Audible. We may have Amazon Music. We got a lot coming up here, man. Working on some things. But thank you guys for all the support and for checking out the sponsors. Twitter at JDfromNY206. Patreon.com/JDfromNY206. Go and do all that stuff. T-shirts, masks. Subscribe. You guys know the deal. I don't need to run the gambit on you. Everything you need is linked down below in the description. Let's hang out with the Super Chats, guys. I want to thank you for all the love via the Super Chats this week. You guys continue to support the show. Very, very much so. And I want to start off here with Hoko Yan 007 with a $2,000 something. I don't know if that's pesos or some European currency. I don't know what that is, but thank you, man. Me and my cat loves your show. We will probably get Ibushi versus Omega, but the US fans need to get Okada versus Omega with a live audience. I watched Dominion live, and the art those two bring are insane. I appreciate you, man. I do think we get some form of Ibushi versus Omega. Definitely. If you're going to have a merger or a partnership, I don't see why not, especially with Omega being the belt collector. Or they just trademark the phrase Battle of the Belts. We don't know what the fuck that means. That could be coming into play very soon. Oh, that is yen, Hooligrim says. 2,000 yen. Thank you, Hooligrim. So I got you here.
Is that about $1?
Maybe. Probably. King Monger, $10 super chat. When Cody, Omega, and the Bucks talked about changing the world of wrestling when AEW started, could part of that mean joining forces with Impact, New Japan, and NWA? I don't know if I'm wrong, but it seems like it is so. It might not have been in the cards then, Monger, but I'm assuming that is where their mindset was at. So, who cares where it started or if it was a thing that they wanted back in the day? It's happening now, and we are going to enjoy it.
$19.
There you go. Thank you for the mathematician here in the chat, Jesse and Hooligrim. Clash with the Spreecies. $1.99 super chat. New Japan, AEW, TNA, and NWA in one show. WWE is dead now. What are you talking about, bro? They got Bugs Bunny on the show.
Oh, God.
They got Bugs Bunny. Listen.
I never heard of that guy either, man.
Listen. I want to tell you guys right now, Ryan Satin is a fucking idiot, number one. Number two, it is all right to be out of pop culture references or out of the loop with pop culture. It really is. Don't let fucking geeks like Ryan Satin steer you in the opposite direction. Oh, there's something wrong with you. You just ousted yourself as being out of touch with pop culture. Maybe somebody wants to be out of touch with pop culture because pop culture sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Pop culture sucks. It's a brainwashing mechanism that teaches you that whatever is out there is mediocre and should be accepted. Meanwhile, all I want is Alter Bridge playing Edge to the fucking ring at WrestleMania. Is that so much to ask? He'll be the type of guy, oh, that's the band that sings Edge? I didn't know that. Fucking dummy. Maybe people don't want to listen to shit music. Have you ever thought of that one? My music isn't anybody's cup of tea. But I know what's good and what's not. Some people just like to be in their own bubble. It's fine. That is absolutely okay. But I get it. I'm not an idiot. I get why Bugs Bunny's on the show. I get why he's there. Good for Damian Priest. Good for him. It's about fucking time an NXT talent shines. Bruce. Jacob, what's up, brother? $10 super chat. I genuinely think your idea of a massive super show with AEW, New Japan, Impact, and NWA might come true. This show had talent from all four promotions. That's awesome. I think it's happening, man. I don't know when, but I think it's happening. Michael J. Sanchez, $9.99. Am I the only one who thinks that the AEW women's title looks awful and could be better? You are not alone, Michael. I think the title is the most hideous of all the titles.
Vacated.
World of Wrestling, $10 super chat. AEW was awesome tonight. By the way, Edge versus Drew McIntyre would be the match I would want and have Edge as heel. Thoughts on McIntyre Reigns and Edge in a unification match with Reigns pinning Edge. Bro, I don't give a fuck what they do at this point. I really don't. I'm so fucking sick of it.
Yeah, me tell you something. Me too. I'm tired of trying to fucking fantasy book this bullshit that they booked themselves into. Like, this is a horrible fucking spot to try to figure out, man.
Listen, Jesse. I've been arguing with people. I mean, I don't know how clear I could fucking make it. I know you feel your way about it. You might as well just give a brief synopsis of what you're feeling. Bro, if they do Edge and Reigns at Mania, okay, you do realize that you're leaving McIntyre with absolutely nobody on Monday Night Raw, and you have somebody that could 1,000% fill the role that Reigns needs at WrestleMania. His name is Daniel Bryan. So if you do Edge and Reigns at WrestleMania, who exactly are you leaving McIntyre at WrestleMania? Braun Strowman? Jinder Mahal? Sheamus,
Probably
Tyson Fury,
Raw.
Brock Lesnar.
Oh, man.
I mean, that's 5 names right there that have given me agita in the last 10 seconds with me mentioning these names.
Yeah, I would not have had Edge win that fucking match, dude. It just messed up so much shit.
And bro, please tell everybody that Reigns is fucking Zeus in this land, and he is untouchable. Reigns should not lose, period.
No.
So you would have wasted Edge winning the Royal Rumble for him to ultimately lose to Roman Reigns. Story's gonna be there. Edge may make Roman a bigger heel, which is fine, but you're using the Royal Rumble to benefit Edge and take an opportunity away from a young talent winning the Rumble when he could have easily challenged McIntyre by winning the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, look, you guys gotta think about it this way too. How does Roman beating a 47-year-old semi-retired veteran get him more over? Now, you can ask, well, The Rock is an old veteran. You put him in a match with him. Like, yes, The Rock is an old veteran. You put him in a match with him. How does that get him more over? Easily, because The Rock is the perceived head of the family, while Roman is going around saying he is the head of the family. We have a clash of fucking opinions. Who's the head of the NYE family? Is it Rock or is it Roman? That's a fucking match and a story to be told all day long. Edge and Roman, Edge needs to win just by the babyface momentum they're booking him in, and Roman cannot lose to anybody who is not a bigger star than him right now, which is nobody.
Listen, I read something today from the Dirty Sheets, Bill Body, who is he's a good guy, and he said, and he reported today that Seth Rollins was actually planned to win the Royal Rumble, and that's why all the betting odds shifted to Seth Rollins. And actually, Seth Rollins, in the spot where Edge eliminated him from the Royal Rumble, he was supposed to hold on and skin the cat, go into the ring, and he was supposed to eliminate Orton and Edge to win the Royal Rumble, and they were going to do Reigns and Rollins, and they were going to turn Rollins babyface and transform his character from being the Messiah into the wholesome, now family man. He just had a kid, and Roman's going to bury him for that. Yada, yada, yada.
I'd take that.
That was the original plan, according to him. And then Rollins botched the elimination. He was not supposed to be eliminated. And Edge, they called an audible. If you go back and watch, and I went back and watched it, Edge looked dumbfounded for about 3 seconds. And they called an audible, and Edge won the Royal Rumble when he wasn't supposed to win the Royal Rumble. It was supposed to be Rollins. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, it could be complete bullshit.
I don't know if that's. I don't know. I'll just take it as the story unfolded, and they got Edge going over and winning. And if Seth was a possibility, they made the wrong choice. Because Roman versus Seth at WrestleMania for the title has plenty of history behind it. I would take that.
But what do Edge and Reigns have to do with each other? Nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. The story should be great. Fine. You'll make something happen. I'm sure Heyman's going to do wonders. But you've already planted the scene for Drew McIntyre and Edge at WrestleMania. And that makes sense because I believe what Edge said about McIntyre. What's wrong with you? Pretty much in oh so many words, called him a pussy.
Dude, they can't. They don't know what the fuck they're doing with Drew's gimmick. The last opponent he had came out and said, "You disrespect the legends too much." Then his next opponent says, "Why you coming out here and fucking giving me compliments?" Because the last fucking opponent I had told me I was disrespectful to the legends. I give you a compliment and you telling me I'm a fucking pussy.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Listen, man, I would take Edge and McIntyre and Bryan Reigns, put Rollins against Big E. I'd even take Cena and Reigns over Edge and Reigns. Really. I'm not saying Edge shouldn't be in a major match. I'm glad he's back. I'm a big Edge guy. But him winning the Royal Rumble and then everybody now thinking that, the heels have to eventually fall. Motherfucker, Roman is not just a regular heel.
No.
This guy is fucking like a god at this point.
He's an
and you want to waste him and his heel run on Edge winning a world title off of Roman Reigns?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God, man. When I think wrestling fans can't be any dumber, Jesus Christ, man. That's who you want Reigns and his body of work to fucking benefit. 48-year-old Edge.
Yeah. It's Roman is what is called, and this is a term, he's an unbeatable heel. Right now, Roman is unbeatable, meaning there's nobody on the roster that could logistically beat the character you've built up right now and said title holder.
So you mean to tell me everybody would rather Edge win over Roman Reigns instead of giving that spot to a Big E, right? I'm not even saying Big E should beat Roman Reigns, but you would choose Edge over Big E, right?
Nobody.
Come on, man.
Nobody. And if you're gonna face somebody and you know you're gonna win, put somebody in the match that can tell the best story.
Jesus
Rock,
Christ.
Daniel Bryan.
Yes. This is what people don't understand. A lot of people, the story isn't there. Nobody wants to see Bryan. Really? Reigns and his 6-year fucking downfall was because of Daniel Bryan, geeks. Why did it happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whose hand was raised in 2015? Roman. By Dwayne. Who were they booing for? They were booing because they wanted Bryan in the Rumble. Bryan got eliminated. In what, 5 minutes?
Yep.
Come on, bro. Don't even argue with me over this shit. Edge versus Roman makes Mania worse.
It's a bad move. And look, like I always said, you got this spot in the Royal Rumble that you use. It's a spot so unique that you can just take pretty much anybody you want on your roster, and you have 2-month build to make them into a main eventer, which is phenomenal because you want Edge in your main event or a high-profile match. Okay, you don't need to have Edge win the Royal Rumble to be in a high-profile match. You don't. No. You really don't. You need Keith Lee would need to win the Royal Rumble to get some miracle shot at the championship. What if Keith Lee wins and now he's the babyface going into WrestleMania and he wants to try to go over to SmackDown and take down this dude who's over there talking about how he's running the ship, and he goes out there and puts on a 30-minute classic and just loses to Roman at the last. You got a superstar built in Keith Lee who lost to Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And they got a story built off the Survivor Series. You know, I was in the ring with you, you know, and you're not the same guy that I remember being in the ring with.
Yep.
What happened to you? And like Jesse said, if you put Keith Lee in that situation with Roman and everything that Roman has touched basically since he's come back has turned to gold, it would be a complete regeneration of Keith Lee after all the fucking bullshit that they put this guy through. That's just one of many ways you could use younger talent at the Royal Rumble for WrestleMania. I don't know. Whatever.
Again, what if Keith Lee was supposed to win? What if? That would have been awesome. What if it was Seth? Look, if it was Seth and it didn't happen because of a botch, I mean, shame on whoever made that call. You gotta be able to somehow fix that. You gotta find a way to fucking fix that.
Yeah.
So.
Let's move on here. Gemini 605 $5 super chat. Keep kicking butt, JD. Shout out to Hoodie Jesse. Goon me. Gemini, you fucking goon. Thank you for $5, bro. We got Kern Cluck with a $4.99 super chat. Kenny and Kenta versus Lance and Mox, non-sanctioned. Yes, can't wait. Next week. That Fly Pigeon with a $5 UK. Miro is get off my TV levels of bad at AEW. I was expecting so much more from him. Should be dominating and on the way to the TNT title prior to AEW title. I absolutely agree, Pigeon. I think we all agree. Jedi Joke with a $2 super chat. JD should have Hangman Page as a guest on the CNC. I would love to. Maybe we'll make that happen. Hollywood Guy, $5 super chat. After what you guys have seen, do you think that Sting is still relevant? I mean, he seems to be booked wrong to me. Sting is always going to be relevant, bro. He's a fucking icon.
Sting's relevant. Sting is awesome. I hope nobody here thinks that I'm just shitting on Sting. I don't like Sting. That is not the case. I don't like how they're using him. Yeah. That's all.
We got DX for life with a $5 Australian. Keep up the good work, JD and Jesse. Jay White been cutting promos on the Elite talking about how they're the real Bullet Club. Things are heating up. I fully expect something to materialize from that, man. Magician Sapphire, $10 super chat. Donating before going to sleep, had a long day. Sounds like you were watching Raw. Sounds like me during Monday night. Thank you, Magician. Mr. Premium with a $4.99. Off the script, the only show that can take two negatives and make it a positive, if you know what I mean. Listen, man, I try. Jesse tries. Thank you, Premium. Appreciate you, bro. King Mongo with a $5 super chat, a $2 super chat, and a $5 super chat, and a $10 super chat, and a $5 super chat. Bro, what the fuck's going on? Let me read all of King Monger here. Why not book Impact women in the women's tournament with the likes of Tennille Dashwood and Deonna Purrazzo could have made for a more anticipated tournament? I agree. I don't know what the fuck. This is Kenny Omega, man. Kenny loves his Japanese women. Must be Kenny booking women because he loves Asians.
He is a Joshi guy, man.
Yes, he is. With all this going on with Omega, the Good Brothers, Moxley, Impact, and now New Japan, I wonder if all this is building towards the Blood and Guts match. Could be. I said that a couple of weeks back. I do think that's exactly what's going on here. That awful Jade vignette was her trying to be Bianca Belair, a low-budget wannabe, great value, dollar store Bianca Belair. Jade can't lace Bianca's boots.
We don't know. We don't know what she can do.
No.
We don't know.
I'm leaning towards no, but you got to give her a shot.
Learn from the Pat McAfee situation.
Yeah.
Just.
I swear I'm not asking for it, but can't overlook the AEW effect. And they have Edge choose Balor for the NXT title at WrestleMania like they did Charlotte last year with Rhea. I don't know why they would do that, but it doesn't make sense. But can't put it past WWE. If it happens, can't be shocked. Who knows with WWE? Bro, Edge was only on the show because WWE realized AEW had Beach Break, and they were like, whoa, well, we got this guy. We could have him tease a title choosing on NXT and get him in the ring with Finn Balor and tease this and have something with Karrion Kross and yada, yada, yada. That's exactly why they did it. You think Edge is choosing Finn Balor at WrestleMania? Bro, give me a fucking break. Balor is not defending the NXT title at WrestleMania. And if he is defending it, it should be against Kross with him dropping the title to Kross. Not Edge.
What if we put Edge in there with Balor, have Adam Cole win the Elimination Chamber, and you put Adam Cole in the Undisputed Era against Roman's family?
I like that too.
What about that one? Then what happens to Drew McIntyre? Fuck Drew McIntyre,
Yeah,
right?
fuck him. They clearly don't have no fucking direction for him. Why not? Sheamus is getting a title shot, but I assume that's at the Chamber. What are you doing for WrestleMania? You got 2 fucking pay-per-views before WrestleMania.
Let's see. Oldberg's done. What about Hogan? You can dig Hogan up for Drew.
Hogan?
The Iron Sheik is pretty vocal on Twitter. How about him?
I don't know. Who else is there? Who else is available?
Let's see, we got Carlito.
WWE sucks.
It's gonna be Jinder Mahal, man.
I know.
It's gonna be fucking
I'm just
Jinder.
waiting. I'm waiting for the Elimination Chamber field to be nailed. And you know Edge is going to choose somebody before the Chamber because they have to have a decision on what Chamber is going to be for what title.
Or worse, what if they bring back Heath Slater, Jinder, triple threat match.
See, now you're giving Vince ideas that I never want to see materialize.
Triple threat match, 3MB, main event WrestleMania. Look at that.
Edgar Estrada with a 50 bomb. What is up, brother?
Whoa!
50 bomb. What's up, JD and Heel Jesse? That was a great show with a goofy wedding. Ray Phoenix has become one of my favorites to watch. Same here with both of us. Great main event. Gallo started his own kick party. Damn, he was great. Kenta, damn, bro. Justine, feel better. Jesse, good point. Cheers. Thank you, Edgar. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, you see Kenta's no to sleep tonight. He fucking missed him by 8 miles.
I know.
Jesus Christ, man.
It's those nerves being back on TV, man. You know, he hadn't been back on TV since his I don't want to say it, Hideo Itami days.
Oh, that was the worst.
Yeah. Wally Boyd with an Australian $2.99. Has Edge lost a few inches, or is Drew really tall? Drew is 6'5", bro.
Drew is a big boy, man.
Yeah. Panned. $9.99. How it do, OTS crew. Wasn't the biggest fan of tonight, but if I'm drunk and Kenta is here, everyone drink water and call your mother. She probably misses you. And fuck Bill Goldberg. Here's a beer on me. Thank you, brother. We got Elite Takeover at PS4 with a $5 super chat. I don't know if this means anything, but tonight on NXT when Edge made his appearance and his entrance, his nameplate was the Raw graphic. Because he's a Raw superstar.
Raw superstar.
He's a Raw superstar. There's no meaning to it at all, brother. Don't look into it. Don't stress yourself out. He's coming from Monday Night Raw, and he's going to be a Raw guy challenging a SmackDown guy, according to Dave Meltzer. And then he's going to lose to said SmackDown guy, go back to Raw, and probably feud with fucking Bray Wyatt. Because Bray's got nobody else over there. That is it, man. That's all we got.
You know, I saw a comment from a certain prominent podcaster out there.
Yep.
And he posed the question, okay, well, Edge said that he's now full-time. Does that satisfy all of you Edge-winning detractors out there? My answer is no. He is not full-time.
First of all, who said this?
It was Mr. Zayn. So
Edge being back full time now justifies him being Roman Reigns.
Yeah, apparently.
So let me tell you, I'm gonna end Brian Zane here. You could clip this and send it to him. I love Brian Zane, bro. Listen, I mean nothing to you in this situation, bro. Edge was out for a year. You don't think WWE is adding those dates that they were contracted for Edge now for him working full time? That's exactly what that means.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this guy missed 9 months of his fucking career for an injury that should have never happened. And WWE's now getting their money's worth. If Edge was not injured all of last year, he'd be there once every 4 weeks.
Yeah, it makes zero sense to put a guy who left your company because of a major injury. You bring him back and he suffers another injury. And then you bring him back and say he's going to be full-time now.
Roman Reigns is not losing the Universal title. It would be the dumbest booking decision since Charlotte Flair beating Rhea Ripley. And that was only last year. We don't want too many mistakes now. I'm getting out of here before I fucking say something I regret. Samson, $5 super chat. I haven't watched Raw since 2017. Good for you. Keep it that way.
yeah, good idea.
Keep it that way. Guys, we're getting out of here, man. Follow me on Twitter at JDfromNY206. That is on Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Shout out to Brian Zane. I love you, buddy. Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. You're gonna have some fucking geek Zane. Clip this and say, look, JD was talking shit about Brian Zane. No, I wasn't, clown. Anyway, guys, I'm grabbing my cold beverage. Jesse and I are getting in the Mustang. The Mustang is now freed from its icy tomb. Windows are down. Music up. Pilot's coming on, guys. You know what to do. We will see you next week, and I'll see you live on Friday night SmackDown for the post show. See you guys later. Guitar emojis in the chat. Let me see them. I'll see you guys later.